we are going to see how you can use EasyNAM client to view, modify, or delete the authorization OAuth client configured at the NAM admin console. So to start that, the first thing you have to do is to load the OAuth and OpenID endpoint to start. Click on this and then get OAuth endpoint. Verify that you have all the endpoints here, and then click on the OAuth client management. When you click here, it says please use resource owner grant to get access token first. So I have uh, used a resource owner grant to take a access token, and then that access token I'm going to use for the client management. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here and select the password, that is the resource owner grant, and fill this form to get the access token. So I'll configure the client ID, client secret, resource server, grant type is password, username, password, scope. Scope should be URL, NetIQ, POM, NAM, scope, auth, registration, full if you want to do the client management. Now, here also there is one important thing you need to do is the user which you are going to use for this grant should have a role defined in the admin console. The roles should be something which will allow the user to do the client management. So what I have done, let's go and check the admin console here. If you go to your IDP server, go to roles, and I have created a role policy which actually checking for CN equal to Manjit and assigning a role of NAMO or to admin. So this is must. If the user you are using doesn't have that role, you cannot use that access token to do the client management. So keep this in mind that you create a role policy which will activate a role of NAM over to admin. So now this form is completed. I will go and click on the get access token, and this will populate the access token here. We have already discussed about token info, user info, refreshed access token, and revoke access token. What I am going to do here, I will click on this button, use access token to manage OAuth client. So if you see here, it says that please use resource owner grant to get access token first. Once I will click on this button, and if I go up, that thing is changed here. Sorry. And it is providing me different option which says that you can add OAuth client, you can view OAuth client, modify and delete OAuth client. So what I'm gonna do, I will go and just disable this so that I will have enough screen space to work with the client management, and I will start with the view OAuth client. When I click on the view OAuth client, you can see there are two options. You can view OAuth client by providing the client ID. So there was we have taken the token, we have taken the access token using the username Manjit. The Manjit should be a creator or admin for this client ID. So if I give the client this and view OAuth client, and see it will give all the information of for this particular client, and this client is created by Manjit user. You can also click on the view OAuth client to see all the client created by the user Manjit. If you click here, right now it shows only one, but when you click here, it will show all the user, which is all the client which is created by user Manjit. So you can see the list is big. You can show and hide this to just save the screen space. Click here, see, and then hide. Then this is about the view OAuth client. You can either view the client based on the ID, or you can view all the OAuth client for the particular user for which the access token has been given. Okay, the next thing is the add OAuth client. I will not show that now. We will go to the modify OAuth client. Let's go here, and what I'm gonna do, I will just go and add a client ID. When you click on the modify OAuth client, you can see the client ID, and what you do, you can give a client ID here. So I will just go and before that, let's go to view OAuth client and take a client ID which we want to modify. Let's take this one. And go to modify, address, click on the view OAuth client. It will fetch all the client related information. You can see all the client related information is there. Now, if you want to change anything here, any modification, what you have to do, this JSON data, in this text area, you can see the whole JSON, all the JSON data. So what I'm gonna do, I will go and change the one of the redirected URI. So in place of callback, I'll write callback 1, 2, 3. So you can see here the value is changing, or 5, 6. You can see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So this is how you can modify that the whole JSON, and then you have to push the JSON to the NAM server. So that you can do by clicking on this button. So once you click on this button, all the modified value goes to the server. So now I will go and click on the modify OAuth client. Okay, so it has sent the request. You can see the modified OAuth client came here, and which is the change value. Also, you can now go to the view OAuth client and put the same client ID, view OAuth client, and you can see the callback is changed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you remember, I was talking in one of the video that if you go to excuse me, if you go to devices, identity servers, and click on the client application, this takes a lot of time to load the client, and every time you click a client, do some modification, and if you want to check the client changes, this operation again start and it loads. Every operation you do, it always try to load the client from the beginning. So this is actually a time-taking process, so that you can basically avoid if you use the REST API. You can use the REST API to use that to save your time. So there's one of the OAuth client which we have changed. I don't know which one, but let's check here. So you see it take a lot of time to show things, and if you have clients like 500 or 600, it's going to be very difficult. So this is definitely not the one which we are looking for. I'll just okay. Anyway, so view OAuth client, modify OAuth client. Now we will go and do the delete OAuth client. So for deleting OAuth client, just go and click here and enter the client ID. So I will use the client ID for which I have changed the value 558. Delete OAuth client, and it basically shows me which client has deleted. Now if I try to delete the same client again, I will get the error which the client is not present. If I try to view that particular client, I say the client is invalid client. So this is how you can use the different uh, client management REST APIs, view auth client, modify auth client, delete auth client. You need not to use EasyNAM HTML to use that REST endpoint. You can also use the uh, postmaster, or also you can use the curl scripts to do that. But this EasyNAM client gives you a point where you can basically explore that what all options are available and what you can do with the NAM. The one